shocked out to y'all. I wasn't expecting it. Was y'all? Let me know down below. But hey, y'all, welcome back to another review of Life of Chelsea for General Hospital, November 19, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. What did y'all think? Did y'all like the episode? What y'all expecting in front of Britt? I said, normally people would try to hide, when they trying to. He don't did it in front of her. I said, I wonder if he gonna threaten her. I mean, he basically was threatening her this episode, but she threatened him first. She was threatening him first. Well, not specifically him, but everything he's working on. But yeah, so I'm gonna give y'all a quick summary and then we're gonna dive into the review. Sitwell shot Dawson at the end of the episode. I thought he was getting ran over. The way they showed it, it made it seem like Laura was gonna run him over or something like that. But she's supposed to be the one allegedly that finds him on tomorrow's episode. I definitely wasn't expecting that. Vaughn had Josh get information out of Dalton about, his second lab. Emma admitted to Dalton that she's the one to Rocco up to it. I said, these people that be talking too much. I said, now what if he used that in jail? I said, what if he used that to his advantage? He told her he was gonna tell and she's gonna be expelled and she's gonna be right next to Rocco. She's gonna be in jail just like Rocco. What else? Let's see. Sitwell threatened Britt about her medication. Lulu and Jason agreed to let their kids turn themselves in. Charlotte wants her and Danny to lie. And I said, now Charlotte, why would you sit up here and lie? I said, hey, that's gonna make you look guilty. Cause what if he ain't got no bruises and stuff like that? But yeah, she wanna make it seem like Dawson hit Rocco. Danny gonna agree. I said, Danny, you fool. I said, look at him. But yeah, I think the last thing is that Laura won the election. But yeah, what did y'all think of the episode? Let me know down below. It was a good episode. I'm still waiting on to find out that who shot Drew or whatever. Excuse me. I'm waiting to find out who shot Drew. I think on tomorrow's episode, Chase supposed to say that he knows that Michael lied about the alibi and he could prove it. I said, somebody get him next. I said, somebody could get Chase. I said, now, it does seem like he was trying to frame Willow. Now, I don't know if he did it because they still ain't told us that either. If he actually did it, they did the flashback where they show him planting the weapon or who actually shot Drew. He running around, still messing with people and stuff like that, talking noise to Laura and everything. But yeah, on today's episode, we're gonna start with Josh and Vaughn. They was just talking. Vaughn ends up telling Josh to see if she could get information out of Dalton to get him to open up because he was over there just drinking and stuff. I said, what you drinking for? You the one sit up here and stirred up all this mess. I mean, you ain't tell them to break into your lab, but they ain't tell you to lie on them either. But yeah, he just drinking and study drinking and stuff like that. So she went over there. Might as well get them out the way. She went over there and he's like, hey, my old lab assistant or whatever he said. And they were just talking and he started talking too much. She was questioning him about what happened because he said something about he had a rough day. So he was talking about Rocco breaking into his lab. He ends up revealing that they thought that he was testing on animals. And he was like, I am, but, I couldn't have it on campus because the last time they found out. So he testing on animals in another location that's nearby that nobody can hear the dog scream. I said, you low down thing, you. And he just told all that to her and everything. And she seen Gio and Emma come in and she tried to get up out of there, try to tell him, let's go somewhere else. Because she already knew they was going to say something. I knew too. I said, I said, they finna mess it up. They finna blow the whole plan. So they went sit down. But then I think Gio was the one that came over there and she was like, she don't need saving and stuff. So I think Dalton wanted to know what the holdup was. Emma was like, she's not going anywhere with you. So I guess he was putting two and two together. So she ends up confronting him. Emma ends up confronting him about what he did to Rocco and stuff like that and how it was her idea and how she's the one that tried to take him down and everything. And he ends up telling her how she's going to get expelled. And wasn't she the one that diced the drink on him? And he was going towards her and Vaughn came and stopped him. And then he ends up showing his badge and everything, told him how he's coming in the morning to the WSB to be questioned or whatever. So that's when Gio and Emma figured out that, he was WSB. So they end up questioning Jocelyn about if she knew. She over here still lying to me. I said, no, she didn't know anything about it. And Emma was saying how it was all for nothing because, the WSB was already looking at him. And Josh ends up telling her how it wasn't for nothing because she got information out of him about it being a second lab. And I said, I guess she finna try to find that lab now. And afterwards, they end up leaving, and that's when Josh and Vaughn seen each other, and they end up kissing. I said, now why is y'all out? If y'all supposed to be broken up and all this other stuff, she's mad about you being a WSB because you lied to her. Why is y'all out in public kissing? First, y'all sitting together. Then y'all out in public kissing. I said anybody can see y'all. But yeah, that's all that happened with them. Next we got wait, we gotta go back to Emma now. Emma was just trying to comfort Gio because he was upset. He was thinking about what Dante said. He was saying how he's right and stuff like that. Emma was saying how Dante clearly don't know who he is and everything. And they did confirm that Ned's doing good. I said, now why y'all just dropped this whole Ned situation? He don't fell out and everything on the doggone ground and stuff, having a heart attack. Drew walked away just to say he doing good, but not show him. Not actually show him. But yeah, I was like, they trying to trick us, trying to get us off the Drew subject. That's what it is. But now I think it's eventually this gonna tie back into Drew. We'll see. What else? Yeah, she was just comforting him, and that's when they end up going to that place that Josh and them was at. Excuse me. Britt was still confronting Sidwell and questioning him. Sidwell tells Britt that he not her enemy, reminds her that he got her medication and stuff like that, basically threatening her. And she was still talking about Rocco and Dalton needs to go and all this other stuff. Next thing you know, Dalton came in drunk, talking about some, the WSB want him to come in tomorrow. You got to fix this and stuff. So Britt was telling him how she could do the whole little, project by herself. They don't need him. And next thing you know, Sidwell like, you right. Basically, before that, he told him how he's a liability and stuff like that. He turned around, next thing you know, he just shot this man. I was like, wait a minute. Bree over here shocked and stuff like that he did. And she's supposed to be talking to him on tomorrow's episode about it. I said, now I knew that he was going to take him out, but I wasn't expecting him to do it in front of Britt. I was not expecting him to do it right then and there. People think that he's going to blame Sonny for it. And I said, at this point, might as well. At this point, might as well. I was saying Laura was going to get blamed. She's supposed to be the one to find him and everything. I thought she was going to run him over based on the trailer and the photo and everything. So I was like, oh, my goodness. So it's going to be between Laura and Sonny or both because they be, what they call it? What do they call it? Sticky steeds or whatever. They just be in each other's face around each other and stuff like that. They're going to say they in cahoots to try to defend their grandson or get revenge and stuff. I still want to know if this is going to help Rocco. And they need to go on tell if he is going to get out because Dalton gone or whatever. They need to go on release him now for Danny and Charlotte turn themselves in and, what did they call it? Perjure themselves, lying and stuff. Talking about some tell that he hit Rocco. I was like, don't listen to Charlotte. I about to say Valentine Jr. Don't listen to Valentine Jr. What time is it? Let me see. I got to hurry up because I got to go. I have to go. 3:09. Let's see. What else? Yeah, let's see. We finished with Britt and Sidwell. Rick, Lulu, Dante, Sonny, they always talking about Rocco and how Danny and Charlotte need to turn themselves in because that's the best strategy to get him out of there because they could validate Rocco's story while turning the tables on Dalton. Lulu and Dante was against it. Sonny tried to convince Dante. Dante tells Lulu that it's her choice or whatever. So Lulu was like, she not sure she want them to turn themselves in because they thought that everything was gonna be sweet, everything is gonna be cool with Rocco, but he's sitting in jail right now, and she don't want all three of them, and she don't want to sacrifice her daughter to save her son, and then all of them laying up in jail. I said, right, exactly. And Jason, I said, Jason, now I understand you trying to just be that safe space for your child and just give them a voice and everything, but at some point you gotta actually be a parent. He's talking about, so I want to whatever Danny wants. Danny is set on it and everything. You heard him. That's what his mama would have wanted. I said, Jason, at what point do you become a parent? At what point? Your son trying to turn himself in and stuff. Now, at first, he did tell Britt, though. I give him that. He told Britt how he wasn't going to sacrifice his son or have his son, come forward. So I take that back partially. But yeah, Lulu finally talked to Charlotte and stuff, and she agrees to let them testify. She just don't know that her daughter want to lie. Then Danny going right along with it. I said, y'all learned they would have lied to make it worse. And I said, they need to hurry up and go on, do what they're going to do before these folks incriminate themselves or whatever. But yeah, they probably going to think Sonny or Laura did it. One of them. Laura and Jordan was just talking about everything that happened with Rocco and the election. And Laura was convinced that she was going to lose. Drew came in talking to us about her losing and she might as well get ready for it. And he wants her to basically vouch for Ezra and everything. Then next thing you know, Jordan came back in and said the results are in. Laura won. And Drew looking crazy. Drew over here looking crazy and stuff. I said, that's what you get. You talk too much noise. You talk way too much noise. And Laura, before Jordan came in, she was just trying to reason with Drew and talk to him. Talking about some, his job is to protect the people of Port Charles and stuff like that. Like, when he first got elected, she was happy. But, he been acting all crazy and stuff. But yeah, I said, he ain't done. He's not done. But yeah, that's all that really happened, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day and be safe.